Welcome back, game developers. Today I'm going to show you how to create an animated player for your platforming games. Let's go ahead and start a new project. And our viewport size will be 640 by 360, as we're going to be using pixel art for this game. Alright, step one is to make a basic character, and this will function as the hitbox for your player. So let's double click your layout and add a sprite. Go ahead and click your layout now to spawn the sprite. Let's go ahead and give it any color because during gameplay this will be invisible. And then we're going to change the origin point. This is what's considered to be the center of the sprite for the coordinates. And we're going to place that at the bottom center of the sprite. Good, once you've done that, go ahead and close the sprite. And let's name it player. And we're going to go ahead and give it the platform behavior. This will allow the character to run and jump a lot like Mario. Now to test this, we're going to need some ground for the player to run around on. So let's go ahead and make another sprite. And go ahead and give it a color. And we're going to give this the solid behavior so that way the player can stand on it. Go ahead and name this ground. Alright, now if we hit play, we should be able to move our character around. Alright, we can see they move, they run, they jump. Awesome. Now let's animate it. Go ahead and create another sprite. And this time we're going to import our sprite sheet. You can find the download link for this in the description below. I've already customized mine, so I'm going to import frames from strip. And it is 4 frames across and 3 frames down. Go ahead and hit import. And there we have my character. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to animate the idle frame, the walking animation, the jump animation, and the attacking animation. So we're going to need 4 copies of this animation here. So we can right click it and duplicate it a few times. And then we're going to go through and delete all the frames we don't need. So this is going to be my idle animation. So I'm going to rename it idle. And I'm going to delete all of the frames that aren't related to the character just standing still. Cool. The next animation will be the walking animation. So I'm going to delete all of the frames except for the walking frames. And for the walking animation, because it's got more than 1 frame, we need this to loop. So go ahead and check the loop box. Next animation will be jumping. And you guessed it, we're going to delete everything but the jump frame. If you click the first frame, hold shift and click another frame, it'll highlight everything in between. That makes things a lot easier. Let's go ahead and delete the last 2. And then finally we need our attacking animation. Go ahead and clean this up. Okay, next I want to set the background so it's transparent. So I'm going to select the paint bucket tool and a transparent color. And I'm going to come over and click the white. Go ahead and make that disappear. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do that for all of my frames. All right, and the last thing I need to do is set the origin point so it's at the bottom center of the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and click origin point and set it at the bottom center of the frame. And then over here in our list of image points, I'm going to right click the origin point and do apply to all animations. And that'll go ahead and just set it up for all of them. This is important so that way we can line up our player with our player box. Okay, let's go ahead and resize our player box so it's about the size of our character. Hey, look at that. By sheer luck, it's already there at 34 by 65. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and rename this player animation. And we're going to give it the pin behavior. This will allow us to stick the animation right to our player's hitbox. Cool, you can throw that off to the side now. And let's come and click your player sprite one more time, and let's scroll down to the bottom and uncheck initially visible. This will make it so that the player's hitbox is invisible during gameplay, and that way all we'll see is our player's animation. Okay, now that we have that set up, it's time to add some code. Go ahead and go over to your event sheet, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a function. Now, functions are just a bit of code that you can use over and over again. It just makes your life a lot easier. So we're going to go ahead and right-click our event sheet, and we're going to do add function, and we're going to call this create player. And what this is going to do is it's going to create the animation on top of the player and then pin it in place. And this function is just going to save us a lot of time, because then we're not constantly having to manually place the animation on top of the player's hitbox sprite. So we're going to add just a few lines of code. So go ahead and hit add action, and we're going to do player, spawn another object, and we are going to spawn our player animation on the same layer at image point 0, and then we're going to pin the animation to the player. So player animation, pin to object, and we're going to pin to the player. All right, now that we've created our function, we need to actually call the function so it gets used. So we'll do add an event, system on start of layout, so at the beginning of the level. And the action is going to be functions create player. Cool, so we can go ahead and test this now. If we go back to our layout and hit play, you can see the animation spawns and it moves as the player moves. Awesome. All right, now let's set it up so that when the player moves, the walking animation is triggered. Go ahead and hit add event, and we'll do player is moving. So under platform is moving. And then we're going to right click it and add another condition. And we'll say player is on floor. And we'll add one more condition. And we'll say player animation is playing, and then quote our attack animation. So we're actually going to invert this by right clicking it and hit invert. So what this says is when the player is moving and they're on the floor and they're not doing the attack animation. If all of those are true, we want the player to start walking. So we'll add an action and we'll do player animation, set animation, and we'll do walking. All right, so once the player starts moving, the walking animation will start. Okay, but what about the idle animation? When they stop moving, they should stop walking, right? So let's go ahead and copy this event with Control-C and then paste it with Control-V. And now let's switch it up so that when the player is not moving, so we can right click this condition here and invert it. So now it says when the player is not moving and they're on the floor and they're not attacking, then we want to do the idle animation. So we can just change this up and have it be idle. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. When the player walks, his animation starts, and when he stops, he stops. Okay, but when we go left, we don't want him to moonwalk, we want him to turn around. So let's add some more code. So we're going to use the keyboard to control our character, so we're going to need to add the keyboard object. So let's double click our layout and scroll down to keyboard and add that to our project. And now go back to your event sheet and we can do add an event, keyboard on key pressed. So we'll click to choose, and then we'll press the left arrow. Hit done. So when the left arrow is pressed, we want the player's animation to mirror. So we'll add an action, we'll do player animation, and then we'll do set mirrored. We'll go ahead and mirror the animation. And then the same thing, when you press the right key, we want to set it to not mirrored. So let's go ahead and add that. So add event, keyboard, on key pressed, and this time we'll do the right arrow. And then our action would be player animation, set mirrored, and then not mirrored. All right, let's go ahead and test it, see how it looks. When we walk to the left, when we walk to the right. All right, looks like it's working. Now let's get our jump animation working. All right, let's add an event, and we'll do player. And then we'll scroll down to the platforming area, and we'll do is jumping. And then we'll add another condition. And we'll say player animation is playing the attack. And then we'll invert that. So it says when the player is jumping and they are not attacking, then we want the jump animation. So player animation, set animation, and then jump. Now that works if they're jumping, but what if they're falling, right? So same idea, we're just gonna copy this whole event with Control C and then paste with Control V. And then instead of platform jumping, we'll do platform is falling. All right, let's go ahead and give that a test. All right, you can see our character can now walk and jump. And if you change directions, the player changes directions as well. All right, finally, let's make it so our player can attack. So we're gonna use the space key for our attack button, but you could use something different. Let's add an event and do keyboard, on key pressed, and we'll choose the space key. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slow the player down. We'll switch their animation, we'll wait a moment, and then switch it back and put their speed back to normal. So we'll add action, player, scroll down to the platform area and do set max speed. Now my character's max speed right now is 330, so I'm going to set it down to 100. And then we're going to change the animation to the attack animation. Then we're going to wait a moment, so that'd be under system. And then all the way down at the bottom, we have wait. So we'll wait for half a second. And then we'll switch the animation back to idle. And then we'll put the platform speed back to its original speed, which was 330. All right, let's give that a try. Okay, there's our attack. If we jump, we can attack still. And there you have it. That's how you make your basic animated platforming character. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one.